Okay, so for this challenge, you want to code a given string following a specific rule. Let's take this challenge and start coding. Take the string parameter and encode the message according to the following rule. Encode every letter into its corresponding numbered position in the alphabet. Symbols and spaces will also be used in the input. For example, if string is AF5C a pound, bang, then your program should return 16531 pound, bang. Okay.
Well, that's pretty straightforward.
That's pretty easy. So, let's see. We could just do. I mean, we could subtract the. We could subtract the value of a from each element if it's a letter, and just map that into a new string. Does that make sense? So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So HELLO turns out okay. So so let's just do some string.split .map function letter, or well, we'll call this elm. And then down here, if, and we'll just do some. Are we only going to get lowercase? Yeah, it looks like we're only getting lowercase.
Well, it doesn't specifically say that. The sample input is lowercase.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's be thorough and just do everything, you know?
Right.
Test elm. And then
that's what that I switch does, is ignore the case in the
yeah.
search. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if we're gonna do that, then I'll do what I did for the Caesar cipher one.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just call case, and we'll set two elements in an array. The first one is going to be a from char code at, or it's not from char code, it's char code at, and 0, and then so capital will be represented by this. Okay, and then we'll close that. So, and then we'll just call this var case, and we don't need to define it right now, actually. So, so if, and here we will not do a case insensitive. So if elm, then oh, I didn't close them. That's why it's doing that. See if they
how come we need to test for both at all? We just need, I mean, we can get
well,
the correct output with just the lowercase test, couldn't we?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
I'm not gonna test for uppercase, because if it is this, then I'm just gonna check for 1. So I mean, we could do this. I just like using a variable to count, because like if you were putting this in a library and someone were to come behind you and like wondering, okay, you have a 0 and you have a 1, those are kind of like magic numbers.
Right.
I mean, for this, it's fine. So we can do this right here. Well, actually, we do want this var case. Okay. So if it's that, then hopefully Coderbyte formats it. Okay, so case equals 0, else case equals 1. Okay, so we'll close that if. Now we're still in the end of the letter, so let's just return the elm.charcode at 0 minus letter case. Right? Seems legit. And that's our if.
What I was getting at before is that if we're basically if we're ignoring the case in the test, you could
Well,
you can convert it to lowercase up front and still get the same.
Oh yeah,
So why check for both?
Okay, so if we do this, yeah, I see what you're saying. So if case, then we can actually just get rid of this. Good point. Oh, we still need that, and then we'll move this back over to here. We'll set this up. Okay. And then we can... Okay,
just so I'm clear, the letter case array, but those values are to offset our value from whatever.
Yeah, it basically
normalizing a to 1, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it wants it at 1 or 0. What is it? Let's see. A. So it wants it at 1. So let's see. Minus letter case plus 1. Okay. So that'll give us 1 through 26 instead of 0 through 25.
Got it.
Okay. And then, so if it's not a letter, then okay, why is that not? Okay. Oh, if case. See, we're just setting our flags here. Now,
do we need an empty string to build up as we go along here for the output?
No, because we're actually getting a whole new array back from map.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
So let's see. Okay. Bare letter, and then map function elm letter equals false, and then true. That was another reason for the overarching one, because we can test if it's a letter, we can do all that work in that if statement on letters, because now because now we're just basically setting the case, but that doesn't do us any good if we want to skip over a letter, or if we want to skip over something that's not a letter. So that's what that other larger if statement at the beginning would have done, the A to Z with the I at the end of it.
But that just ignores the case. It doesn't. If it's not a letter, we just return the character as is.
Right. So.
Okay.
Right. But so if A to Z dot test, right? Then we set the case. Else we set the case to actually.
But we're in effect only testing for lowercase letters. Because the character code is always going to be.
Well, we don't know that. I'm writing this as if we don't know if we're getting only lowercase letters. There. Because if they did give us a uppercase, because they don't, does it say we're only going to get lowercase?
No, I see what you're. Okay, and because we're doing this with a.
Right. So. Right. So we need some way to either iterate If it's a letter, we need to do some kind of transformation. Otherwise, if it's not a letter, we need to return back whatever it was. So here,
Got it.
okay, we have letter equals false, and then letter equals true, letter equals true. That's a little bit of code duplication. Um, so, okay, and then, so if letter, and we can do something like this, else return elem. And okay, so this and then this. God dang it, why is it that? So this is lined up, this is lined up, close that. Okay. Okay, does that map to this one? Yeah. Alright. Let me zoom out for a sec. So, okay. Just to see if everything's okay. That lines up to that. That lines up to that. That lines up to that. That to that. Okay. And just one last thing. Let's copy this, put it over here, and see expected end. Yeah, so there's all sorts of stuff. Case equals 0, if, else, test elem, that matches this, missing semicolon, e.test elem, okay. Alright, let's give it a run. So hello 45, unexpected token case, bare case, case equals 0, case equals 1. If letter minus letter case, case should be set to something.
I think our syntax is incorrect still somewhere if it thinks that's a token.
Yeah. Okay, let's go over here and JS hint. Holy crap. Inside case. Okay. So, there. Which case? Lol. Okay. Okay. And then line 11, expected to. Oh, okay. So I probably shouldn't use reserve words. You think that's
yeah.
that's probably something that would be helpful in ensuring program correctness, is not using reserve words. All right. So hello 45 looks like it gives us that output.
Yep.
And then Control C. Okay, and let's do one more. This one. And Control V. Okay. And okay. 1653 1 pound bang looks good. Let's see if Codebright thinks it's good.
Looks good.
All right. So coding area. Did you want to work on?
Let's see. Let's go down to the medium difficulty ones.
Yeah. Technical.
Let's see. How about let's do most free time.
Okay. Most free time. Hold on, I'm not sure if Lassen actually saw the wallpaper that we made.
Okay.
He was busy digging up the background. He was busy digging up the real wallpaper. So, okay. You will determine what period of the day gives the most free time. All right. Let's take a look. Okay, have the function must free time read the string array parameter being passed, which will represent a full day and will be filled with events that span from time X to time Y in the day. The hour, minute, AM, PM minus hour, minute, AM, PM. For example, string array may be the longest amount of free time available between the start of your first event and the end of your last event in the format hour, minute. That should be the earliest event in the day, and the latest event should be the latest event in the day. Okay.
The input will be 3 events, and they may be out of order.
That's fine. So
we need to parse the input, and I'm thinking convert to just convert all 3 periods to like total minutes in a 24-hour day.
Yeah, probably do a 24-hour, but okay, let me read this again because okay, so we have from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then we have a half-hour break from 10:30 to, and then we do 10:30 to 12, and then we have a 15-minute break from 12:15 to 2. So it's only in between the events. It looks like. Is that
right.
what they're doing?
Looking for the way I read that, they're looking for the largest gap between events.
Well. Oh, okay. Oh, so they have overlapping events here too.
Right.
Oh, okay. So the first thing that we should probably do is copy all this and put it over into here. Okay. And build a regex to pull these out for us. So let's see. Well, it's an array already. Then it puts it in. So we may not want to do that. Let's see. So they come in as
an array of 3 strings. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be
or
an
more.
array like this. Yeah.
Right.
So okay. Like that. So first I want to do return string array. So it's an array already. So let's see, what's the output look like? Okay, 3 elements, and then somehow we need to order them. So we'll convert them into we'll convert them into 24-hour time. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So, alright, so let's do this. Function we'll call this real time, and let's just pass it an array, or we'll call this time. Alright, and because it should only be getting this right here in it, right?
Okay, so this function is going to parse each
Yeah.
each array entry. Okay.
So that's what it's going to be getting. So, okay, so let's return
We get
real
a
time. Yeah, real time, and let's. I wish it really wouldn't do that. Alright, let's do that, and we'll pass it that for now. Okay, so real time is going to take that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What I'm thinking is, we get out 4 pairs of numbers
yeah,
and just perform some math on the first index and the third index. You
Right.
multiply them by 60 and then add the second set.
yeah. So we can split it into an array here. So it should break down into
2 times.
yeah, 10 a.m. and then 12. So if we do that, let's just do a sanity check and return the time. So unexpected end of input. Oh, because I need to close the function. String is not defined. Oh, because it's time. Time equals time dot split. Okay, so it does that. So then, yeah, we just need to parse 4 numbers, and
It looks like that format's already going to be fixed, so we could just convert substrings to integers and then check AM or PM.
yeah.
Because they'll always be at a fixed position. We don't really have to regex anything out.
All right. Well, let's see. I also want to do one more thing. So time equals time dot replace, and let's replace that with nothing. And okay, let's do this globally then. Okay, so because the colon isn't doing us any good, we can actually take this now and just do straight multiplication on it, you know?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll have to, well, how do we do straight multiplication on a 4-digit number that isn't really in the format?
Well, okay, so we can't do...
We still have 2 sets of digits to deal with.
Right. So we can't do straight multiplication on this, but it's easier to break. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. We could actually break each element up based on... We could split each one into that. So actually, let's do that instead. So time split, and then... Are they always going to give us the lowest time at least first? Yeah, it looks like it.
Actually,
Okay.
it says they may be out of order right there.
Right. But I'm giving us...
Inputs.
Yeah, they're giving it to us in this fashion though, where
Oh, right,
it's
you'll
the
always
start
have a
time.
leading 0, yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
start
always
time.
be 4 digits.
Okay. So time 1 equals time 0 dot split, and time 2 equals times 0 dot split alright, and let's see if we're getting, so return time 1 time 2. Okay, so the second one, well, that's not, oh, time 1. That would probably help. Okay, so so we're getting that, and now we have this, and we could split. We could actually split the AM and PM off into a third element on the array. So if you want, because then we all we need to do is some calculation like times 60 on the first one,
Exactly.
plus
Yep.
the second one, and then modify it somehow by the third element. If the third element is AM, then it obviously
We multiply
gets
the first element, or
Yeah.
right, we just add 12 to the first element if it's PM.
right. Yep. So okay, so let's see. That's 2 numbers and then 2 letters. So we need to. Well, actually,
We just get a
yeah, we could actually do time 2 dot split dot slice 0 to 2, I think. 0 1, yeah, 0. Okay,
but
so
that's,
it's
but that's returning. Slice is a string function, isn't it?
oh, it is, yeah. So
So you can still chain them like that, but you need to get out. The
Yeah, we
array-
would need
the
to
array
join
index you want to split before.
Yeah.
Or right after the dot.
so dot split. Okay, we're splitting it down. Well, we don't want to join it because we're on the second one, and the second one should be a string in there. That element is a string.
Right.
Still.
Yeah, all of the elements are
Inside.
still strings. The first one just looked like a number.
So, okay, so, yeah. Split, and then, so that's the first element, or, yeah, the second element, and then slice 0 to 2.
Do we end up with we end up with a nested array then? Is that going to create an issue?
Yeah,
And is that even doing what we want? Does that return look right?
this return, no, not right now. Okay. So, this one has 4, and we know that if we grab the first 2 off and store it as something else, like say time 3 could be just grabbing those, or well, time 1 modifier and time 2 modifier would just be grabbing these.
Right.
So, yeah.
Do we just want to? I don't want to declare, variables we don't need, but we just slice a substring out of the array element.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Call it time of day. Or
So 12, but we don't want to. Oh, wait, that was. So return time 1 is this, and time 1. Okay, so each add a comma. Oh, a comma is added in there to signify that each one of these is an element. So,
so you have an array containing 2 arrays, and each of those arrays contains 2 strings.
So we might actually want to do this. Time 1 hours equals time 0 dot split
Well, are we keeping time 1 and time 2? Because when we can just it would
Well, I'm essentially about to get rid of these in a second.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I just thought about that. We can get the time 1 hours, time 1 minutes, and time 1 modifier, and we can do the same thing for time 2. So split, and then that's going to give us an array. So time 1 hours would be the 0th element of that array. And then time 1 minutes equals time 0. Okay, so it's going to be time 1.
Well, okay.
No, what were you about to say?
No, this makes sense. You're gonna get rid of these lines, time 1 and time 2.
Yeah.
And just do okay. But these hours, minutes variables will be all
Yeah, I'm just keeping them around right now because, like I said, it's a pattern to look at.
Sure. Okay.
So
yeah, then this would be time.
Time 0, and time 0 is already split, so it's going to be time 0 and 1, and we are going to slice the first 2 elements off, right? And let's go ahead and return an array hours and time 1 minutes. And unfortunately, minuates is
well,
not.
Is it already split though? 'Cause, I mean,
0. So why is it truncating that to 0? See, this should give us like 0A. No.
but you're doing time. You're declaring here. This isn't our.
Yeah. Time 0, 1. Oh, it's getting the. Yeah, that's why. Okay. So time 0 dot split, because we're not saving it. 1 slice 0, 2. This should be 0, 0. Okay, good. And then time 1 mod equals time 0.
Why don't we just keep our variables around somewhere? Because we're repeating ourselves a whole bunch with the time 0 split colon thing.
Yeah. Well, we could do that. We could just replace that with time 1.
Yeah.
So, all right. So time 1.
That is easier to see what's going on there.
Yeah. Time 1 and time 1. Wait. So time 1 0.
You still needed that second
0 1 slice, and then time 1 1 dot slice 2. Okay. So and then let's go ahead and include and time 1 mod, and hopefully it'll be 10:00 a.m. Okay. Excellent.
Awesome.
And then we can actually just copy this. And
just rename them all to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or we could just make a function that gives us back our stuff. But let's do time 2, time 2, time 2, time 2. Let's comment this out. And then this is going to be time 1.
Actually, that won't change, will it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, because of time 2. Yeah, but the rest of them, those array indices aren't going to change.
Yep. So I just need to change the variable that it's going off
Right.
of. Okay, and then we'll return time to hours in all these places. And time 2 equals time 2 split, so we can get rid of that. And this should say be 12:30 and p.m. Okay, awesome. So we could probably return.
I think we can get all our calculation in one line.
Yeah. Okay. So time 1.
And are we returning we're just returning in minutes, just a total number of minutes?
Yeah, I think so. Because what we can do is
'Cause that'll help. That'll make it so we can easily place the times in a 24-hour day.
right, and then all we really have to do is find out what the late for. So this is what I'm thinking right here, right? Is we look at these, we get all of our times, and then we calculate all the minutes, okay, and we can subtract. Well, we don't even have to subtract. We can. Well, we'd subtract the ending time from the beginning time for each one. So what I'm thinking is actually building an object. So we'll return the total time occupied for that event,
Right.
as well as the start time and the end time. Okay, in 24-hour time format, in basically just raw minutes. So we do that and we return, and then in another function, we look at all 3 of our time objects at that point, and we find our lowest start time and our highest end time. Then we subtract that lowest start time from the highest end time. That should give us our total time occupied, and then we just the time that was taken for all the events, and subtract that from that number, and that should give us any free time we had. Although
That gives us
looking at it,
total free time and not the individual, because we're looking for the largest gap
Yeah.
between 2 events.
yep. Well, we can actually just look at the difference between the end time and the start time of each event at that way, or
Right.
at that point.
Yeah, that's
So
it'd be easy to do. Converted,
Yeah.
all the times converted to minutes, right?
yep. So yep. So let's comment this out because we don't want it to return, and then let's call this. What do we want to call this? An event time, and we'll make this a function, and it will a start time and an end time. And
So
let's
are we calculating the length of the event in this function, or are we converting to minutes in this function?
No, this will convert up here for the minutes, but no, here I'm just gonna build the event time object.
Okay.
So the event time object is just gonna have a start time, an end time, and a total time. But I think it'll be easier for us to use objects to compare the end times and the start times rather than
Oh yeah,
access.
no, I agree. I wasn't following what function you were writing next here.
So this dot start time equals start time, and this dot end time equals end time, and this dot total time equals, well, we can actually just assign this here. Well, it would just be end time minus start time, right? This dot total time equals end time minus start time. Right?
Yeah, as long as all of the events are.
Yeah, they'll all be.
Individual event is the
Yep.
last. Okay. In the array, they could be out of order, but you don't have an individual event with times that are or
Yeah.
higher than the other. So yeah, it's,
And
That should be all that needs then.
Okay, so let's get to calculating our times here. So, var start time equals, let's see, so that's
time,
yeah,
time 1 hours dot to int.
yep. Well, we could parse it.
Or parse
Time
it.
1 hours, yeah. So it's var time 1
That's
hours.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm speaking, but in my head I'm thinking parse it. So.
Time 1 hours 10. Okay, times and well, actually let's get this. Okay.
We could just
So all right.
We could just have a a ternary operator and an expression that checks the mod and either multiplies by 1 or 12.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, var start time equals parseInt time 1 hours base 10 times time 1 mod is equal to AM, then 12, otherwise 1. Okay.
If you're checking for truth, should it be 1 or 12? If you're checking for truthy on AM, then it should be, because AM we leave it at 1. If it's PM, we would multiply by 12.
It would multiply by. We wouldn't add 12 to that, or this should just be adding, right? Or yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay, so 1 and then 12.
And you're right. We would just be adding, not multiplying at
Yep.
this point.
And then we'll
And
multiply.
that would actually
Okay.
be 0 or 12 then.
Yeah. So 0 or 12. Yeah. Times 60.
Yeah.
And then we'll plus parseInt. Okay, plus parseInt time 1 minutes base 10. So that looks okay. Let's return start time and just make sure we did that correctly. No, we did not. Okay. So time 1 hours, if it's 10, then we wouldn't add anything. Well, we shouldn't be timesing.
Do we need some parentheses there somewhere?
Yeah. So over here. All right. So yeah.
Just
Time 60
that
plus.
should work, but you could put the other paren just on the other side of the
Yeah.
conditional rather than before parsing it.
Where?
Just right here.
Well,
Yeah, because this will be an expression, and then
right, but
multiplying
this
by
needs
6.
it needs to go around this parseInt.
Oh no, you're
That parenthesis
you're right,
did.
because otherwise the addition will happen last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll times up by 60 and then add it. And,
Yeah, right.
time 1 hours. Okay, so what the hell is going on? Return parseInt time 1 hours 10. Let's make sure unexpected token.
Oh, we didn't. You didn't put your parentheses back in front of percent. It's missing.
Okay, so that's 10 plus time mod. Okay.
But we just didn't test it after putting the parentheses back in. I think we're right.
Still 0.
Still returning 0. Weird.
Okay, and then time 1 mod. Okay, so let's return the result of our conditional. This should be true. Yep. So that's adding 0 to 10. So that's 10 times 60 plus % time 1 minutes times 10. Okay, let's return this. And that's fine because it should be 0.
That's right.
Because it's so let's take a look. You know what? Let's just
How about you return everything before the multiplication? Oops, sorry. I touched my screen.
syntax error. Of course it's syntax error. Let's return all this. Does it not like the fact that I put an enter in there? No, that's not it. So start time. So time 60 plus % time 1 minutes 10. Go ahead, man.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I clicked on the screen and then it came back, and I think I just accidentally scrolled.
Oh, alright. Man.
Proceed. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal keyboard focus from you.
Oh, it's so good. Plus, okay.
Yeah, what? I'm at a loss to what's going on there. Are we? Is that conditional formatted correctly? I don't know what else could be wrong with that.
Is equal to AM, then 0, otherwise 12. Okay, so let's just pull this out. And we'll call this hour mod. Unexpected token something or other. Where? Shout to all the pairs. Okay, where is it saying it doesn't like the unexpected token? You see an unexpected token?
Yeah, it's saying there's a semicolon in the wrong place. I hate that it doesn't say what line, so should we take it?
Yeah, if only there was an easy way to include linting in a code editor. So
Oh, we got
22.
parentheses out of place.
Yeah, expected to match present time plus hour mod.
You don't have a
Right
yeah.
there. Okay, and then this just should be undefined variables, so that's fine. So linting right there, by the way. There.
Hey, it works.
That's what we expected. Okay, no curly bracket. Not sure what he. Okay, so that's start time, and then we should probably actually put this in a separate function. Yeah,
Yep.
just so we're not doing it. So function and get 24 time, and it's being passed in an array with, or no, it's being passed in uh, 3 elements. So it's being passed in hour, hours, minutes, and mod.
Yep.
Right? Okay, and we can just do something like this. Var, well,
Can we just return our declaration to start
yeah,
time?
yeah,
With
we
the
can
variable
just,
names changed out.
yeah, we can just pull this out and make sure I'm there. Okay, var hour mod equals
Hours
just the
or
mod.
mod, right?
Yeah, and then so var time, and we'll return start time here. Okay, okay, so this is just hours now.
Yep.
And this is just minutes. Okay, so now we should be able to pull all this out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. So start time equals get 24 time, and let's see, time 1 hours, minutes, and time 1 mod. And we could actually do like these function calls in here, but that'd be pretty sloppy, I think. So we should. Okay. What doesn't it like that? Return. Someone want me to put it like this? No. So. Yeah. Where is the illegal again? Expected an assignment or function call instead saw an expression. And then it still says it there. Where hour equals, or hour mod equals, yeah, mod is AM or PM, then, so that's assigning hour mod to either 0 or 12.
Yeah, it worked outside of it.
Oh, we have an unmatched curly brace somewhere. So let's see, where does it say 8?
Oh, the whole function.
Oh, we didn't do something like that, maybe? I don't know. No, that should be, that's matched right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. No. Missing a semicolon on line 39. Okay. And and it's still saying unmatched brace on 8.
I don't get any brace highlighting in here.
No, not in this one.
Okay.
Let's do... Over here we do. Yeah. Oh. Is it something over here? No. It's where it's saying all our errors are beginning. It's right here. Get 200 Hz, time 2 minutes, time 2 mod. Is it that little hidden gem right there?
What was going on there? I didn't even see anything.
It was a single quote mark.
Oh.
So, end time is not defined.
It's missing a capital T. Wherever it's saying.
End time. End time. End time. End time.
Right there. Yeah.
Okay, start time 600, end time 1470, total time is 870. So that looks good.
Cool.
So so we can take them in and parse them now. So let's do that. So we know that we're getting this. So
do you want to get make an array of objects first, representing all of the events, or?
Yeah. So the next thing is to take these in, right? So it's a string array. So string array, and each one is its own element, right? So we're passing in 0, 1, and 2. So time map equals string array for each. No, we don't want to do that. Well, we could do this, string array dot map, and well, that's going to turn an array of objects, which is what we want. So function elem, and we should just be able to return, and we were calling this real time, right?
Yeah, you should just be able to turn real time elem, right?
I'm hoping. I mean, we're on the air. There's no pressure for us to do good or anything. So, and then if we return time map, with any luck, we will have 3. Okay, total time is 870, start time 840, end time 885, total time 45 minutes, 550, 590, total time 40.
Cool.
Right? Okay. So,
so now we have an array of event objects. So now to compare, let's see, the end time of one to the start, or the end time of one to the start time of the next one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess first we would need to put them or sort them by start time, or not necessarily.
I think we want to sort them by end time, right?
Okay.
So from end time, from the lowest end time to the greatest end time. So let's try that. So let's try sorting them. Function AB. All right. So A dot end time minus b dot end time. And we need to return that. Okay. So we have 590. Then we have 885. And then 1470.
So they're sorted. That's
So yeah, so they're sorted in ascending. So now all we need, I'm thinking all we need to do is compare the end time to the next start time,
right.
and see if it's find whichever one is the greatest. You know. So, and we may actually be able to do it here. But let's split it up. So we're sorting the time map in ascending order. So now we just need to for greatest diff equals 0, and then we can do for var I equals 0, I is less than time map dot length I plus plus. Otherwise, keep going and finish this one out. What? Okay. So length minus 1. So there's going to be 3 elements, so we only need to check the difference of the 2 and compare them, right? So
right, we get the differences of 2 pairs. Well,
yeah. So if
with overlapping events, we have a possibility of negative numbers.
Yeah. So
we just take the greatest numbers. So we have a negative number. All that means is that we have overlapping events, and therefore no free time between them.
Yeah. So if time map I dot end time minus, well, how do we want to do this? We actually want to do I plus 1 dot end time
minus
minus, yeah, time map I
dot start time
dot, well, no, okay, so this needs to be start time and that needs to be end time, right?
Oh, right, for the subtraction to be correct.
Yep.
Is that right, though?
It is.
The end time's going to be the greater number. It's already sorted.
Right.
So then,
because we're subtracting the start time from the element above, and then we're subtracting the end time from the element below. So, like, if we look at this, the end time is 590, and then the start time is 840.
I got it, because they're sorting ascending.
Yeah. So we're gonna subtracting 590 from 840,
yep,
right?
I follow you.
Okay. So, if all that is greater than greatest diff, then
I think outside the conditional, we actually have to do that expression and just assign it to greatest diff, or else we don't have anything to compare to initially.
Well, it's comparing to 0 initially.
Gotcha. Okay.
Go ahead. I've been typing this whole time. I'll let you show off your typing skills.
I don't have any typing skills. Well, you compare to 0 initially, but will having a negative number initially, like in the case of an overlapping event, throw off our results at all?
No, because the negative whatever is.
Right, so it wouldn't assign anything in that case. Okay.
Is it,
Clicking around appears to do nothing. My keyboard works though.
there you go.
Okay. Um, so we would just assign the same expression,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Is it? Oh, okay.
It's gonna be more difficult for me without without a mouse, but it'll work. Okay.
And then close the block.
Right. And
We can try returning the greatest diff and see if we have it. I'm trying to think about what happens if. There we go. And let's do something else that was bad. Oh, son of a bitch, did that. That just closed the whole thing.
I didn't do it. I wasn't even using my mouse. Shit.
What the hell? Okay. Well, that sucked. What was that called? Mouse free time? Yeah.
Yeah.
See if I still have it.
On your clipboard. Part of it, anyways.
Yeah. So, okay. So, we got rid of that, and then we did var time map equals.
How did the window
stringer.
close? I was just curious.
I don't know. It's very strange. So, okay, var time map equals map function elem, right? And then return real time. And then we'll do this. Okay, what did we do next? So we sorted them, and then so time map dot sort function AB
Sorted them by end time.
return a dot end time minus b dot end time. Okay, and we'll close that. Okay, and then we had var greatest diff equals 0, and if, or we had a for I equals 0, I is less than time map dot length I plus plus, and if, so we're doing end time minus start time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. Okay, minus 1. Okay, so if time map I plus 1 end time minus time map I dot, no, this is start time and this is end time, right? Yeah. Because this is the next one.
Right.
Yeah. So start time dot end time is greater than 0, or is greater than greatest diff. Then greatest diff is equal to this here and we can close that. And let me Control A, Control C. Okay, and then let's return greatest diff.
Is all of the rest of our functions still there? Function real time.
Yeah, we have real time, get 24-hour time, and event time.
Everything's still there. Okay.
So, yeah, I think we want to return a new event time to make a new one. Okay, so let's give this a try. Oh, it's going to come in inside an array. End time is not defined. Oh. $8.55. Greatest diff.
That's... I don't think that could be correct.
No, 855 oftentimes does not equal 30, so...
Oh, it just, yeah, it says right there with the output to be. I guess first thing would be this has to be what's wrong, right?
So, yeah, let's... So, start time 14:55, end time was 8:40, and total time was negative 6:15. The hell? Alright, maybe we didn't do something. This is all the same.
The sort is right. If we're getting negative 615 inside one of our objects, then our real-time function, or our 24-hour function, is what's throwing something odd. Where did you see the negative number at?
Is in here. So start time 14:55, end time 8:40.
And that's for the second event, so from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Well, that's before it's sorted. So let's return time map here. So total time is negative.
Well, the end time should always be higher than the start time, right?
Yeah. So why is that giving a negative time? It's the first object, right? Yeah. So what is the end time here? The end time should be 2, so that should be 14 times 60,
Hold up,
right?
Our mod logic is messed up. It's 12:15 p.m.
And then 2 p.m. So we're getting the...
But we wouldn't add 12
to 12.
Right, and that's what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so how would we... Because, what, 14 times 60, is that 840? Are we at least right there? Yes, we are. Okay. So, 12 plus, yeah, the 15. Alright. So, we need to look at this, and we're probably pretty close. So, if it's...
We need
12 p.m.
We need like a second logic check, because you'd add 12 if it's PM and less than 12, you'd add 12 to it.
Yeah.
12 is the only number we gotta.
So if mod is equal to PM, well, you know what?
You could you could leave that alone and just check for less than.
Yeah, but this gets to the point where I don't like to do all of that work in a ternary.
No, I agree. Let's just create another conditional and.
So if mod is equal to AM,
and
you know what? Let's just do PM.
Okay.
And hours is less than
12.
12? Yeah.
Yep.
Then hour mod is going to be equal to 12, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Should we declare our mod and make it 0 somewhere?
Yeah. So I'm just going to grab this and put it up here and make it equal to a big fat 0. So
Yep, that 735 looks right. And yeah, no negative numbers now.
okay. So
I think greatest diff function should work correctly now.
yeah. 30. And then so we'll worry about formatting in this in a little bit. So I just want to grab this and put it in here. Okay, 4, and they have a check up here. And 90 would be 130. Okay, so let me control copy this and put it on my buffer. Okay, so now we need to convert greatest diff into
hours and minutes.
Yeah, into hours and minutes. So fair hours equals greatest diff. Well,
That's just greatest diff modulus 60.
Yep, mod 60.
Okay.
And then
we just construct a string.
So
You want to just return it, or you want to declare it first and then return it?
yeah, let's return hours and minutes just to make sure that it's okay. So 1 and 30.
Which is right. Oh,
right.
Do we? Does it? It's expecting that padded, that 0 padding though. Okay.
So we can just do while hours dot length. We need to convert this to a string. So
just tack on a toString. Yeah, that should do it.
Yeah, I'm thinking, and then let's do this toString. We don't need that. Okay, so while hours dot length is less than 2, right? So then, well, we can't do plus equals. We need to
Why the
hours equals 0 plus hours, right? Does that? So
that makes sense, but If that's all you're doing, could that just be a conditional? I guess why the while statement is what I'm wondering.
Because it just makes a really fast way to pad stuff. So this while format right here, what it's going to do is essentially, or what I'm saying is, okay, while the length is less than 2 because we want 2, right? So it's essentially saying if the length is less than 2, then just keep padding zeros until the length is 2. So if ours is 0, then it's really just going to add 1. But
Oh, I see. So you're handling both 0 and 1 digit.
yeah,
That one statement.
yeah, because well, 0 is going to be 1 digit, and then if it's 2 digits, this while loop isn't even going to, like if it was there were 14 hours in between for whatever reason.
Sure.
So, and then we should be able to do while minutes.length is less than 2. Then minutes equals 0 plus minutes. And so it didn't change that. And then the 4, so let's copy this and put it back in.
It should give us 0, 0, and then 0, 4.
That's what I'm hoping.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
So, and then this should give us 0, 0, and 3, 0, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, so 0, 0, and 3, 0. So if we return hours plus
Colon plus minutes.
plus minutes, and then get rid of that unnecessary 1 at the end there. Then 0, 0, 3, 0, and Control C. Add that. 4. And then this should be 130, right? So oh, 130, is that what I wanted?
Yes.
Yep.
Very nice.
Okay.
Looks good.
So Control A, Control Copy, and submit the code. See if there's any. Oh, look at that. All right. All the test case outputs were correct.
Awesome.
All right. So coding area, challenges. What else do you want to work on? Division is super easy because the algorithm. Okay, for any of you new and watching, we'll go ahead and do this, and I'll show you how to solve it super fast.
We're already past the end of our actual allotted time for this, but we can keep.
Yeah, people are watching. Okay, so the greatest common factor is what it wants to find, right?
Right.
So, a really good way to research stuff, if it sounds like something that maybe already exists, then Google it, and then, well, actually look for the Wikipedia. There it is, greatest common divisor. All right, and there is a Euclid's algorithm. All right. So there's actually a slightly more efficient method than the Euclidean algorithm. But all right, and let's see if they have the code on here anywhere. There, implementations. So, so a recursive. So we'll just copy that and paste it in. And clearly Wikipedia isn't a fan of proper formatting. So let's go ahead and put it properly. So function, add that. Let's add this. We're going to need one of these here and one of these here.
Oh, that's an ingenious little recursive function.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then we just need to replace mod with the modulo operator. So a mod b. Some people might call this cheating. Shoulders of giants, my friends. Shoulders of giants.
Oh no, yeah, somebody else has already done it.
Yeah.
Except for googling CoderByte solutions, that's cheating.
Yeah, don't do that. I wouldn't recommend that.
But if somebody's already come up with a really good way to solve this mathematics problem, by all means.
Yeah. GCD, num1, num2. So we'll return that, and if we do, let's see, input 36 and num2 54, run our code 18, and I feel pretty confident to submit this now. Excellent. I didn't think that took